and kill them. You know, I think some people get exactly what they deserve, just to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You took this dude's life for no reason. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
No reason whatsoever. You took his life on some craziness.
On some craziness.
You know.
On some craziness.
It's just,
and, you know, and I think...
It was another incident, too, baby, that I wanted to touch on. And that was, I think it was a case that just happened. I cannot remember exactly what it was at. I think it was somewhere. It just happened again. It was two things that happened back to back, man.
Okay, so
we have to look into it.
Yeah, we knew what happened right here in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
That was sad. You know, I mean, and you know what we want to do though is not focus necessarily on the situation.
Yeah.
All right, so let's think about this for a second. The young, veteran dudes in the military.
Come on now.
Air Force, you know.
Military
and
guy,
I think his name
man.
was Anthony Hill. I got to look at it to make sure.
Yeah.
But here he is.
27 years old.
Naked.
Yeah.
Naked.
First of all, even if you ain't in the military, if you walking around outside butt bookie naked, I'm automatically thinking,
there's
okay,
an issue here.
Something going on with you, bro.
So it's really
I ain't finna pull no gun out. You ain't got for what? Hold on.
There's no weapon.
What you got to hide? Where you hiding it at? Where's your gun at? How you hiding the gun? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? Putting it between his knee? Where the gun at?
There's no gun.
So you know there's no reason for you to pull no gun out. And if he's walking towards you, all you do, he could have took the billy club. He could have took anything. Taser.
You know,
there's so many different options.
I think what we need to do is focus on the fact there's so many options. Why is it that you had to use deadly force? And I think it needs
to
be
go back to that camera, baby. I'm sorry to cut you off. They go back to the police wearing those cameras so that their lies don't get, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think a camera matters.
You don't think the camera I think the camera will make you think before you do something stupid again and pull a gun.
And Eric Garner and still got off. So I don't see nothing. I don't think a camera will make a difference. I mean, just being straight up. It was videotaped. And, I mean, you think about it. The dude that did the video, Texas is actually trying to pass a bill to say it's against the law to videotape the police.
Exactly, yeah.
Now, you know what exactly? Texas
okay
just want
for
to get
you to kill a black man. That's what
okay
they're telling
to do
you.
whatever I want to
exactly.
do. So we really need to look at, the solutions, right? And first of all, so I personally don't think that body cameras are a solution.
Yeah.
I think they might help a little bit.
Yeah, I think they will make you think a little bit. If you're an officer, before you take this move or this quick move on pulling your gun, on shooting somebody or whatever you think you about to do to them, you're going to think, I might be jeopardizing my job. I can end up in jail. I think it'll help you think a little bit.
It would.
I ain't saying it's going to stop everything, but I think it'll slow down some of this stuff that we're facing.
You're right in some respects on that. I mean, I still look at the camera. It might help out. Maybe they'll second guess it.
Yeah.
So maybe they will.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think also it's a character issue. I think when it comes down to the cops, I think the police officers in the very beginning even getting the job, even going through the entire training and everything. See, I think it's an issue where people get the job for money, for whatever reason, and there's not a true sense of service because I think they're punks. I think a lot of them are bullies and punks. I think that's what it is because anytime you got a naked man in front of you, he's lunging at you.
Right.
You don't even have to pull out a taser or a baton.
Nothing.
You can take your freaking hands and beat him down.
Exactly.
I mean, let's just be real. I mean, and honestly, he's lunging at you naked. Yeah. What do you expect?
Yeah.
You don't take a gun. See, that's the wimp. That's the punk way out.
Yeah.
To me, that's a punk. That's a punk.
You know what? I think that the biggest thing that we're running into too, baby, is the fact that to me, if you're an officer, just like if you're an usher inside a church, okay? Now I don't know, everybody got different beliefs. That's already a bad thing too.
Okay.
We all should believe in the same God. We all should be believing in Jesus Christ.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So I think that it would be good if there was a way that, before they start their shift, that there was a little prayer started before you get started, just to get your mind right with what you might be challenged. They can't. They can't. I know it. Just like they took it out of school. But I'm saying though, if you got God involved,
and I think if you get to the root, because all we can do is hit the symptoms. I mean, if you get to the root, the root is exactly what you're saying. There's a lack of God.
Yeah.
There's a lack of God throughout because there's no value of life. Because if you had faith in God, if you really knew and had a relationship with God, then you would value life more. so quick to pick up a gun on
Right.
anyone for any reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right.
So when you have a 12-year-old boy sitting up here playing with a little gun,
Yeah.
instead of taking 5 seconds
That's
to kill
disgusting.
him,
That's disgusting.
to kill him,
Yeah.
no facial hair, no
Right.
nothing. He
Yeah.
looks like a child.
12 years old.
12
Come on
years
now.
old. And instead of you sitting up here saying, hold up, let me talk to you. You know, let me, you know how you see Benson and Stable on, on Law and Order, and they talk you down. They try
Right.
to talk you down. They try to talk
Right.
you down. There's no cops like that anymore.
No.
Where are those
That's
cops
over.
at?
That's over.
That's just TV.
It's TV. Yeah.
That's TV. Real
Entertainment.
cops. Oh, wait a second. I think he got a gun. I'm going to kill him.
Anything.
And you
I don't
shoot
care
to
what
kill.
and you're right. You know, when I think about it, with our child, our son, with the dreads and everything, you get pulled over. You really need to make sure you stick your hands out the window. Do something. I mean, I'm saying, I ain't got an officer.
Yeah.
Don't, until he get up there and he tell me to look for my wallet or
whatever. I remember years ago, of course, it was years ago, but my father told me, when you get pulled over by the police, to always, first thing you do is open your door, pull out your hands, and walk out. Get outside the car, right? And I tried it. He told me to do that. He told me to do that.
Where you get that
and
from?
He said to do that because if you get out your car, they can never search your car. If you actually get out your car, they can't search it. So that's what he was telling me, right? And I was like, okay, whatever. And he
first thing they tell you is to stay in the car.
No, and that's the first thing they did was stay in your car.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Stay in your car. So the first thing, and I remember I tried to get, no, get in your car.
Yeah.
And they're like, our training teaches us you have to stay in the car. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Recognize now, my daddy ain't always right.
Yeah.
But the thing of it is that my point in saying that, you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You don't know what to do
Yeah.
when you get pulled
You know
over by the
what?
police. And wait a second, I remember
That's
when my
good.
son was pulled over, and he called me about his tag, and about because remember that the VIN number on the insurance. So he called, and I was so scared.
Yeah.
I really was so concerned because he got an attitude with the police
Right,
officer.
right.
He's steady sitting up here going
Yeah.
like, no, why you want to do that? Why
Yeah.
you want me to get out this car? Why you want? And he was like, I refuse to get out my car. I'm
Yeah.
sitting up here thinking, wait a second.
Yeah.
Don't refuse
Right,
anything. And I'm
right.
so concerned. Because just because they black, it don't matter what color the cop
Yeah.
is.
Oh, it don't matter no more.
You need to be careful. And I'm like, and he's like, no,
But
I'm
see-
not doing that. I'm not going to, for what? You had no reason to pull me over?
See, I was always told to respect authority.
Yeah.
And the police is authority figure.
Yeah.
So my dad always told me, if a police pull you over, it's always yes, sir, no, ma'am, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Respect them to that fact that they're an authority. And,
That's true.
They're over you at that point, you know. So I think that has gotten me out of a lot of situations.
Yeah.
My attitude towards the situation.
Yeah. And it's gotten
And
him
it's-
out before.
Yeah, and it probably is. A lot of times it went right. I didn't like the fact that you pulled me over for no reason, just straight out, just because you felt like pulling me over. What are you doing? Or whatever. I don't care. But at the same time, I knew to be respectful.
Exactly.
And I think they should have some type of class or something to tell people how we supposed to react or something when you
and
get
they
pulled
talk
over.
about- supposedly, they need to have something.
Because
Exactly.
we talking about
to teach
solutions,
us.
right?
Yeah, we're talking about solutions to teach us.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm talking about.
that's
To
what
teach,
saying.
I'm talking about to teach us.
Because
What do we do? What is a proper?
What is the proper procedure? Because you know what? I want to. So that
I don't wanna get shot.
We're all accountable. That
Yeah.
way, we're all accountable.
Exactly.
You know what? That way,
Everybody know it's across the board.
It's across
no matter
the
what
board.
state you in, wherever you at, you stay in the car. You stick your hands outside the window.
What you need me to do?
What you
because
want.
guess what? That way, if I followed steps 1, 2, 3, 4,
Right.
then what was your reason
Exactly.
to actually do anything to me? Now you have no reason. At
Yeah.
least this was the protocol.
Exactly.
And I know what the protocol is.
Right.
As opposed to, like I said, me getting out the car listening to my father.
Yeah.
You don't know now if
Yeah.
bullets would have been flying.
Because now all I'm doing is listen to something
I don't know
that-
what the right thing
right,
to do.
This ain't
It's not right.
But this could be a real thing that they need to think about
They
doing.
need to think about it. And also,
And
when
this-
they talk about the police desensitizing classes and stuff like that, what they need to do is have a actual, what is your level of force?
What else could they-
What is your level of force? When do you use a taser? When do you decide to use a baton? And when do you go for the gun? Because to me, a gun should never be pulled out of its holster if there's not a gun present.
Right.
If no one else has a gun, you shouldn't pull yours up.
If I'm not mistaken, I think my daughter told me that in some countries they don't carry guns.
That's
Yeah.
true. You want to come up and talk?
Real quick, sweetheart. Tell me what country is it that?
Well,
they don't
it was
carry?
some country. Some countries don't carry guns.
UK. All right. She's saying she's saying that where in UK they don't carry guns, and I really think that we need to do something. We need to do something because the guns are getting pulled out too quick. We need to do something like I like the taser because at least I live to see another day if you tase me.
Exactly.
Don't tase me too long.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because then you're going to kill you. Either way it goes, you might as well shoot him. But at the same time, for the most part, if you tase somebody, at least they live to see tomorrow.
Exactly.
I can live to tell my story.
That's it.
The officer pulled me over, blah, blah, blah. I can live to say that.
Exactly.
But if you shoot me and you kill me, then that's over.
That's it.
I can't say nothing. Nobody never knows what really took place. Mm-hmm. All they hear is what you say.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And by that time, they could have took the video, tainted it, do it whatever they wanted to do to it. You know what I'm saying? Changed it, took this out. Come on, it's technology. They do anything they want to do. So
and it's sad because what we have to do is systematically start.
2015, man.
We need to start letting people know what's acceptable and what's not acceptable, and not just the police, the media.
Yeah.
Our politicians.
Yeah, let a voice be heard.
We have to have a unified voice saying, you know what, it's not appropriate for you. That I was looking in the head guy that was hung by a tree. And the news station instead they're
2015.
They're showing that, okay, who was this guy? Oh, this guy had been served time for this and was actually put on parole on this date. Mm-hmm. Now, how does his criminal record come into play when he was just murdered and hanging from a tree?
Exactly.
And no. The media need to be held accountable also. Everyone needs to have a thing. Our voice has to be heard. We've been silent for too long. Right. And the way it's working right now, we all need to make it your effort because it's not always the other. Everybody says the other person's child.
Yeah.
Well, that was Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
That was Trayvon Martin. Those ain't my kids. It could be.
Right.
It ain't nothing but the grace of God is not your child.
That's it.
None but the grace of God. That's not your son or your nephew or your grandchild.
Yeah.
It's nothing but the grace of God.
That's all.
So we need to think about things and we need to recognize that we're all one unit.
Mm-hmm.
And whether you're black,
and
white,
I think
whatever.
that's the biggest problem we got. You know that? Is the fact that we sit around and we think too much about,
what we got.
Yeah, that's their child. You know what I'm saying? I can't get caught up in that. No, you need to get caught up in that because guess what? The next time, it could be yours.
That's it.
Now it's personal.
Don't
wait.
You're wondering where everybody else at.
Yeah.
Now you're wondering what's going on.
Yeah, don't wait to that. So
you got your kids can't walk home from school. When they can't walk home from the store with snacks without being killed, that's a problem.
That's an issue.
And we all should take that seriously.
Yeah.
We all should take it seriously.
No doubt.
We need to become more active, period. So the number one role, I think, also in this whole thing is making sure that we take care of registering to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And actually go and vote.
Man.
Because you know what? I went to a school meeting yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was shocked to find that the board member
it's funny that
represents
I was
my school district, that represents my school, is white. And ain't nothing close up in there white. Why is she representing us? Exactly. How is she representing us?
Exactly.
And it's like, hold up.
Exactly.
How are you on the Atlanta school board and your school, who you represent?
Right.
For real. And she was quiet the whole time.
Didn't say a word.
Didn't say a word.
Not one word. You're right.
But see, her job, we need to recognize that, okay, wait a second, we all have a voice.
Right.
We all have a voice because I promise you, next year, as long as you're voting in the district that your child is in school in, you know what I'm saying?
That would make a difference.
That would make a difference. So, but what you do, you think about when you vote at every election.
Yeah.
You don't take it lightly.
You know what?
Think about Selma and how many people died to vote.
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
Man, come on. You know how many young jokers, and not just talking against young people, but come on, young folks. That is what it is. Y'all are the future.
That's it.
Y'all are the ones that sitting at the house, drinking, getting high, doing whatever when vote day come. And then when stuff start going down, you looking stupid.
And see, the thing that I really dislike so much is when people say there's no need to vote because I don't want to be a part of the system. Mm-hmm. We need to do this. We need to do that. Okay, well, wait a second. The system that's in place right now, whether you like it, don't like it, it doesn't matter. Yeah. This is what's in place right now. We need to make a change right now,
Mm-hmm.
and know your voice will not be heard if you don't vote.
Exactly.
And if enough people like you don't vote.
Right.
You know, we all need to vote.
That's true.
We
That's
all need to vote. That's what yesterday taught me more than anything. 'Cause, you know, a lot of times you might skip the little bitty elections.
Yeah.
You skip them. You don't think nothing about it.
Yeah.
You don't do your research on what the school board. I don't know what that
Oh,
person
whoever,
looks like.
yeah.
I ain't studying that.